Good morning, teacher. Today, my group will present our final evaluation of the analysis of a company called Petroperú. My group has the following members: Mike Chavez, Lourdes Gonzalez, Victor Garcia, and finally, Viviana Gutierrez. And now I turn it over to my partner, Viviana.
Here we can see the Petróleo Peru logo and in summary, Petroperú is a state-owned enterprise and the leading oil and gas company in Peru. It operates in multiple sectors including exploration, extracting, refining, transportation and distribution of petroleum products. Its main objective to supply energy to the country efficiently and reliably. Petroperú also invests in modernizations projects to improve in infrastructure and adapt to new energy challenge, contributing significantly to Peru's economies and energy security.
Okay, let's start with the Petroperú mission and vision with define the company long-term purpose and direction. The mission is to ensure the efficient and safe supply of energy products across the country. Petroperú take a deliberate decision to support national development and provide public values through sustainable operation. Its top priority are not just energy distribution, but also promoting economic growth and environmental care. As for the vision, Petroperú goals to constitute the leading energy company in Peru. Its work with the intention of being recognized for transferring innovation and operational excellence. The result points to clear energy and responsible service. Okay. I'm going to talk about the SMART goals. The company has set a specific and measurable objective to expand its service station and reach 30% market share by the end of 2025, with the intention of improving public service. It also plans to invest in a digital tools and innovation. One of its top priorities is sustainability. So it aims to reduce carbon emission by 10%. These actions are achievable and aligned with national goals. To meet this objective, Petroperú take a deliberate decision so that within a 1 year timeline. That's how the company applied the SMART framework to its strategic planning. Let's continue about Petroperú main competitors in the Peruvian market. I will focus on two direct and two indirect competitors. And finally, I present a market share chart or pie chart. Okay, let's start with Repsol Peru. It is one of the competitors of Petroperú. Repsol sells fuel and lubricants through its gas station and online platform. They operate mainly in urban areas and their strategy focuses on accessibility and digital service. Moving on to Primax, there is another direct competitor. Primax sells gasoline, vehicle natural gas, lubricants, and convenience products. With more than 700 service stations, it uses loyalty program and a mobile app to attract and keep customers. It has a strong presence across the country. Now let's look at the indirect competitors first. Enel Peru Australia doesn't sell fuel. It offers electricity which an alternative energy source. It serves homes and industry mainly in Lima and northern Peru. Next is Calida. This company distributes natural gas for home, vehicles, and industries. It competes indirectly with Petroperú because it provides a cleaner energy alternative to traditional fuels, especially in Lima and Callao. Finally, for my part, we will talk about this chart shows the market share of major fuel companies in Peru as of 2024. Primax leads the market with 30%, followed by Petroperú and Repsol, each holding and 25%. The remaining 20% belong to smaller distributors. The result point to a highly competitive market where public and private companies are close in participation. Petroperú remains our key player, but it must continue improving to recover a leadership position. That's all for my part. Thank you.
Now I will talk about a SWOT analysis of Petroperú. First, we will address the strengths. The first is a strong market presence. Petroperú holds a dominant position in the domestic energy sector, providing essential fuels and service. The second is government support. As a state-owned company, it benefits from governments backing, ensuring stability and strategic importance. The third is established infrastructure. Petroperú has extensive facilities, including refinery and distribution networks, making it capable of delivering high quality products efficiently. The fourth is customer trust. Being a key player in the market, Petroperú has bold trust with customers and stakeholders. Now we will discuss the weakness. The first height operational costs. The company faces challenges with a high cost in refining and logistics, reducing competitiveness. The second is dependence on oil price. Its revenues are high, affected by volatile global oil price, making it susceptible to external shock. The third is limited innovation. There is a notable lack of technological innovation and adaptation to renewable energy trends, which could affect the future sustainability. The fourth is obsolete facilities. Some infrastructure requires modernization, which involves a significant investment. Opportunities. The first is transition to renewable energy. Petroperú has the opportunity to diversify into cleaner energy source and meet increasing environmental regulations. The second is modernization and efficiency. Investing in new technology and upgrading existing infrastructure could improve efficiency and reduce costs. The third is expansion into new markets. Opportunities exist to extend uh, their products beyond borders to regional markets. The four is strategic alliance, building partnerships with international companies and injects technological capabilities and market reach. And finally, we will talk about threats. The first is global oil price volatility. Fluctuations can significantly impact revenues and profitability. The second is growing competitions. Private companies are increasing their market share, posing a challenge to Petroperú dominance. The third is environmental regulations. Stricter laws on pollution and carbon emissions could impose additional costs. The fourth is global energy transition. The shift toward renewable energy and alternative fuels reduce long-term demand for traditional fuels. Next, we will talk about the pestle analysis of Petroperú. First, there are the political factors. Peru faces critical political challenges, including ongoing political crisis and corruption problems in various government institutions. There are critical issues with government policies affecting the energy sector, as well as potential barriers like political instability that could impact Petroperu operations and growth. Secondly, we have the economy factors. The employment rate in Peru has decreasing significantly year after year, which could influence overall consumption and demand for Petroperu products. The company revenues depend heavily on market trends and economic conditions, which are currently uncertain. Additionally, the company needs to analyze and adapt to the macroeconomic environment to sustain growth. Thirdly, we have the social factors. The Peruvian society's attitudes toward energy consumption and environmental concerns are vital. Understanding customers' profiles like age, interest, and location helps Petroperu tailor its marketing strategies and improve customers' assessment. For we have the technological factors. Technological advancements influence the company ability to innovate and improve efficiency. Petroperu must keep with new features, infrastructure improvements, and processes to maintain competitiveness, including using advanced technology for exploration and production. Fifth, we have the environmental factors. There are significant environmental concerns such as pollution, which threaten Petroperu operations. The company needs to comply with environmental regulations and demonstrate sustainability to ensure long-term viability, especially with global focus shifting towards eco-friendly practice. And finally, we have the legal factors. Legal issues such as corruption cases, legal regulations, and policies related to the energy sector deeply impacts Petroperu operations. The company must navigate complex legal frameworks, including compliance with environmental and safety laws. I pass the floor to my teammate Mike to present.
Hello, my name is Mike. In this presentation, we'll briefly evaluate the competitive environment of Petroperu using the Porter 5 forces model. First, the bargaining power of suppliers is medium. According to ENA, Petroperu depends on both national and international suppliers, whoever in specialist areas like refinery technology, and relies on use a few providers, which give to suppliers more influence. Second, the bargaining power of buyers is high. Petroperu remains clients, such as distributors and public institutions, can easily choose other companies like Repsol or Primax. This puts pressure on Petroperu to keep prices competitive and ensure high service quality. Third, the threat of new entrants is low. The Central Reserve Bank of Peru explained to entering the hydrocarbons market requires massive investment and strict regulatory compliance. That's a strong barrier for the new competitors. Fourth, the threat of substitutes is medium. According to CIPAL, renewable energy is growing, but fossil fluence remains essential in Peru, at least for the short terms. And finally, the rivalry among existing competitors is high. But Peru faces ongoing competition from both local and international firms. This pushes the company to innovate constantly and improve its operational efficiently. To sum up, Peru operates in a highly competitive environment. To stay strong, it must focus on efficiency, innovation, and delivering consistent value to the competitors. I'd like to introduce to Lourdes, who's going to address to the topic of marketing mix.
Hi, my name is Lourdes. Now we will begin by giving a brief explanation of Petroperu marketing strategy based on the four P's: product, price, place, and promotion. Let's start with the product. Petroperu takes a delivery decision to offer high quality energy products such as gasoline, diesel, LPG, and lubricants. It also provides service related to fuel transport and storage. One of its top priority is to meet safety and environmental standards. Moving on the price. Petroperu follows a government-regulated pricing system. However, it also adapts to market changes with competitive price. The company might a transparent cost structure to gain public trust. Let's now talk back place. Petroperu has a strong national presence through service station across Peru. It also distributes fuel via pipelines, ships, and directly to industrial clients. This helps the company meet its distribution objectives efficiently. Finally, we have promotion. Petroperu promoted its brand using its corporate website, press release, and social media. It also runs education programs and CSR campaigns, especially in clean energy and environmental care. This effort reflects the company's commitment to sustain, sustainability and public value. To sum up, the company's marketing mix show a strategy based of quality, regulation, accessibility, and responsibility. These elements help Petroperu stay competitive and meet the energy highs on the country. Competitive strategies Petroperu. I'm going to explain the competitive strategies that Petroperu used to stay relevant in the Peruvian energy market. First, the companies applies a course leadership strategy. It offers affordable full price across the country, which helps meet national energy needs. This is possibly due to its scale of operation and public ownership. Second, Petroperu uses differentiation. It promoted public trust, environmental responsibility, and invests in cleaner fuels. While the intention of cleaning low their value, the company positioned itself a responsibility energy provider. Finally, Petroperú applies a focus strategy. It serves remote regions where private companies have leader presence. This reflects a deliberate decision to meet public service goals, not just profit.
Hello again. Moving on to human resources, Peru is investing in its workforce as part of its internal strategy. In 2023, it offered over 54,000 hours of training to develop leadership and technical skills. The company also provides competitive salaries, bonus, insurance, and family benefits to retain talent. It promotes employee well-being through medical service, psychological support, and scholarships for workers' children. In addition, Peru maintains a strong labor relation through the dialogue with union and surveys to improve the organizational climate. I'd like to introduce to Victor, who's going to address the conclusion.
Okay, I'm going to talk about the conclusion. First of all, we can say that Petroperú still has an important role in the Peruvian fuel market, with a 25% market share. However, it faces strong competition from private companies like Primas and Repsol. Another important point is that Petroperú needs to improve its infrastructure and management to stay competitive. Some of its processes are still outdated compared to modern private companies. In addition, it is important to mention that the company has lost public trust in recent years due to financial issues and internal scandals. This affects its image and position in the market. We can also highlight that are big opportunity from Petroperú. Um, if it works on strategies, partnerships improve logistics and continues with projects like the Talara refinery. Finally, I would like to say that Petroperú must must prepare for the energy transition. People around the world are asking for cleaner energy, so the company needs to adapt and innovate. Thank you.